Step into the Fieldhouse, your front row seat to legendary victories and untold stories. Hey, I'm your host, Lance Lunner, breaking down sports from the inside out, along with co-host Jimmy Lackey. It's more than just a game. It's the Fieldhouse Podcast. Hey, welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast. We are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. Glad to be here as always, man. It's November. Time is flying by. These are the holiday-type seasons that everybody looks forward to. And I want to introduce Jimmy Lackey, co-host, the man at Kids Inc. And you know the drill, Jimmy. What's the best thing that happened to you today?
Well, I was just telling you and Maddie both. I come to work every morning, and I'm going over the McCormick overpass, heading north on I-27. And my dad was the biggest Peanuts fan alive. So this is my analogy.
Yeah, my brother is.
Yeah, my dad was the biggest.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking off to the north. We're 2 miles from Rock Rose at that point, and there's just this little cloud of dust up there in the air. And I'm thinking, yep, I know what that is. And sure enough, they're moving dirt, and that dirt's getting moved fast. They'll all be down. It'll all be down to topsoil by the end of the day today.
It's such a great view out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Finally to come to fruition, to see something happen. Yeah. You know, everybody's excited. Several people have said, "Oh, it's going on." I said, "Yeah, it's going on, man." And
it's happening.
That's got to be a big thrill for you, though.
It is. You know, Craig and I, it's we get excited, then we're like, "Oh, shoot, we got a lot to do."
Yeah, we got a lot to do.
We got a lot to do
because it's an 18 to 20 month project. Would you guess? I mean, Jimmy.
So when I signed the contract,
yes,
okay, 4/27/27 was completion date.
4/27/27.
So let's just say if that were to happen, let's say it's even June 1st. We'll be having baseball and softball tournaments on there, not this summer, but next.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is so cool, yeah.
And then be full-blown ready for fall 27.
That's going to be quite an undertaking to staff that, I know you got the game plan set.
We do, but we've got a lot of questions to ask from a lot of people. I called a friend of mine today in the food industry business, and, we're going to have 3 concession stands out there. We're going to be in the food business. And,
yeah.
Each one of them has burger fryers and French fryers and, the whole 9 yards, and we're going to be able to do it all out there. And so we want to know best practices, how to order, how to inventory, how to stock. Yeah. We've got walk-in coolers that'll be in our maintenance barns to keep product cold. We've thought through this a lot, but just the concessions alone is a business in and of itself.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll have to hire staff to man and operate all that, but that's a revenue generator for us out there at the complex, is to have a nice concession area for our folks, and especially if it's on a day where there's tournaments and you're going to be out there for a while, to be able to go in and get a hamburger or a hot dog that's freshly cooked and from a nice facility will be a great added amenity that we don't have a lot of around here. And so, but we've got a lot of questions to ask from a lot of folks on how to inventory, where to order product, how it's going to be delivered, and how we're going to stock it and those type things. And so, there's a lot to it, and that's just one little piece.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. I still haven't counted how many soccer goals we're going to have to purchase.
The other thing is the schedule maker alone, who is going to organize the scheduling of events on that facility.
Well, we got schedules for us. We've got schedules for those that want to rent a field to practice, which will be tons of.
Right.
And so, the scheduling part of it's a big piece of it too.
Yeah.
And then, little things like I want when we do our leagues, and I've got to get down into the nuts and bolts of this, but I know it can be done. When you get your schedule, let's say you've got a kiddo playing in our program and you go get your schedule, not only is it going to tell you which field you're playing on, but I want it based on that field where best to park.
Oh, wow.
However we label the parking zones, red zone, orange zone, green zone, blue zone, or whatever we name them, it would be best if you park here because that's going to be the closest point from A to Z to get you to your field. And things like that, anything that's of convenience to the customer, we're thinking through those things because sometimes it's going to be a long walk. It's a big place.
Yeah, it's a big place.
I was telling Maddie a while ago, if you go to the flag football field on the northeast corner of the multipurpose side.
Okay, northeast
That's
corner.
over close to where we had the groundbreaking.
Right.
And you walk to the most southwestern baseball softball field on the west quad. It's a half-a-mile walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Craig calls them limousine golf carts, whatever you want to have. We're going to have a few of those out there to be hauling people to and from, because there's going to be a haul. If somebody needs a ride from the parking lot to their field, we can assist with that. If you need to get from one field, from the baseball field to the multipurpose side, we'll have a track of people offering that as a service out there. Maybe they put a little tip jar for the person driving or whatever the case may be, but we're going to have that service out there. And this is going to be a first-class facility when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no, that is a lot of little things.
There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah,
and it all costs money.
Yeah, and it's all a checklist. And once you're into it a year or two, it's going to be a well-oiled machine. Yeah. I know how you work.
I told the board when they hired me, give me a year to see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, feel it. Another year to modify and adjust, and by the time I've been here 24 months, we'll be okay. And that's kind of what it takes. You gotta go through it a cycle just to see it all, and then you know what tweaks you need to make, and then by the next go around, you're in pretty good shape.
But you've also dealt with, had experiences with Elk City and Hereford, so it's not like you're totally naive to.
Yeah, no, but this one's different. I don't know how else to say it. It's just different.
Yeah, no, it is different. It's way different. It's exciting.
But
it's exciting.
They can all work together. We can coordinate a lot of things, tournaments, whatever, that benefits all three of our communities that we're working in, where we have those type facilities. And so I think we're going to be able to benefit all three.
Yeah.
And coordinate events where each one can prosper from it. That's part of the plan.
It's a big deal, but seeing Pigpen over there,
it was pretty cool. Pigpen was a visible sight this morning from the top side of the McCormick.
Yeah, the wind has been a howling. The weather's way up, obviously, for November, heat-wise, but so is the wind. So, all right, we have a tradition here on the Fieldhouse Podcast. We're at number 61, and we come up with a player we liked growing up, or we like now, or somebody we played with in our limited playing careers. Who wore number 61, and there's a pretty obvious one if you're a Cowboys fan or live in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. I'll let you lead off today.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I told you I had to look at the book. This is one I just could not pull one off the top of my head other than Nate, and I knew there was others out there, but Nate Newton, obviously being a Cowboy, was one that I came across. But outside of that, there was others that I remembered. Jesse Sapolo played on the line for 49ers, back in the Montana days. Would have played with John Ayers.
John Ayers, yeah.
Curly Culp with the Chiefs, late 60s, early 70s.
Great player.
Think about that back then. Willie Lanier.
Those guys had those face masks that everybody
Bobby
wanted.
Bell and that bunch. They had quite the little defense back then. And so those are people that I had forgot about, but I had to look in the book. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, my dad gave me a book years ago called Best by Number, and it's just a list of notables that wore those jersey numbers throughout the course of history. And 61 wasn't ringing a bell with me other than Nate Newton, and I knew there was others out there. But Curly Culp, that's just a cool name.
Yeah, I know, Curly Culp. Yeah. And Kansas City was really good with that team too.
Lynn Dawson.
Hank
Stram, the coach.
Yeah. Matriculating down the field on the NFL films. So, I had Nate Newton too. You know what I mean? Big Nate obviously was a part of the triplets. He was on that line with Aikman and those guys. So he was right there in the middle of all their greatness. And now does a lot of television for everything. I think he got in some trouble for a while in his career. Everybody does at one point. But this is kind of I'm just going to tell this story, okay? It's kind of bizarre, but I'm just going to tell you. So back then, with the Globe News, we got a chance to go down there and cover games.
Yep.
And there's a 15-minute or 12-minute, 10-minute cooling off period. It's not long enough. And the media at that time was allowed in the locker rooms.
Yep.
Okay, now they have you go sit somewhere and they bring the players in. Much wiser.
Sure.
So you're actually at their lockers. Now this is at Texas Stadium at that time. This is not their main locker. They actually have another place where they had everything. All right, so like Troy Aikman never took off a stitch of clothing. Okay, I'm not trying to get personal here, but he made sure he was always clothed doing his interviews. Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, styled out at the games. And as a guy up in Amarillo had no clue, but the guys who cover him every day, they would stand with their backs to their lockers, getting dressed. Once they turned around, then everybody knew, okay, they're ready to talk.
Okay.
Nate Newton, naked as a jaybird.
Buck naked.
Buck naked. Just sitting there being interviewed, okay? Did not give a flip.
Yep.
No towel, no nothing even. And I was like, I'm like, that's just a locker room story. Anyway, I'm just telling
that's an image you can't get out of your mind.
No, you can never. That leaves.
That's tattooed there for life.
And that was one and done for me ever to go over and listen to what Nate had to say. It was kind of interesting though, because I did learn though, Jimmy. These are some great writers, some great journalists at that time. Their questions were just as dumb as mine. They were just intimidated by these guys as I was. You know what I mean? So I learned, just don't worry about it. Just go ask your question. Just make it intelligent. You know what I mean? But I'll never forget Aikman. Hey, on that day when Nate was like that, Jimmy, Sports Illustrated had just come out. He wasn't married yet. Sports Illustrated had just come out with this single white male. Remember when that used to be the profiles? Whatever. And he goes, the guy starts the question like that way with this. He goes, "Oh my, we're not talking about that." You know what I mean? Just said, "Let's talk football." So those guys learn. And some of them were so good at it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And some of them were such jerks. Okay, such jerks.
Well, I would imagine, and I'm gonna brag on you a little bit because you, John Mark, the people that I know in that business were the consummate professionals. And then I suspect you had those that were, just trying to find their way to move up to the next space and trying to ask that stupid question that you were talking about that thought they might get them there and they ended up getting them in the dumpster. But I can only imagine the number of wannabes in the room, for lack of a better term. And then you had those guys like y'all that were really trying to cover a story and really ask the right questions. And I can imagine how chaotic that is, number one, and number two, how old that gets for those players.
Oh, how old it gets for them, and how chaotic it is.
Yeah.
You just played a game. You're at your locker. You're trying to get dressed and go home, and you've got a crowd around you.
Yeah.
Especially if you've messed up. You know what I mean? I will say this. I think it was a $500 fine if you didn't show up to your locker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jay Novacek. I think he just went in.
Put it on my tab.
Went in before the season started and said, "Here's my $6,000. I'm not talking to anybody." Yeah, you never saw him in the locker.
Yeah, back then probably 14-game season or 16-game season. Just $8,000. Here you go. Just put it on my tab.
You never saw Jay.
Just take it out of my first paycheck.
And he was he just wanted no part of it. I don't blame him at all. And now they've organized it where the one thing is you may not get a chance to actually talk to the person involved in the critical play. They can hide that. And I get that.
Sure.
I get that. But that was a different time, different era. And crazy, though. I just wanted to throw that up with Nate Newton.
That's good stuff.
Hey, we got Texas Tech as we speak. This game will all be played, but they got a huge game with BYU this weekend. College game day is in town. They have 50 tents. 60 tents are already lined up, and this is on a Tuesday before the game starts outside the stadium. Big to-do going on there. And we talked a lot about the tortillas last time we talked. Not one supposedly was thrown during that Oklahoma State game. Mike Johnson, who lives in Amarillo, shoots. When I say shoots, he's a photographer for USA Today, which is, goes nationwide. So they had him up in the stands, like behind the student section, waiting for
one.
Yeah, that's what he told me. And he said he did not see one thrown. Suddenly it's a non-issue for this game against BYU. But pretty amazing to me.
College game day in Lubbock is a big deal, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the region. I've told you this before. Tech wasn't always at the top of my favorite list. I had other teams that interested me, but so many of my friends went there, and I'm happy for them because it's so cool for them to have that opportunity to enjoy the success that they're having. The region here in the Panhandle and down to the South Plains, that bleeds up here, and we get some residual off that, and so I'm thrilled for them. I think it's awesome. if you're going to have a program in this day and time, then fix it where you can compete.
Yeah.
And Cody Campbell and that group down there, Dusty Womble, think about that. That's 2 guys from Emerald Canyon that have gone down there and probably made more impact on their athletic program as a whole than anybody else collectively has in all the years. And so, again, Panhandle folks involved in the deal. And so it gets really, really deep in the weeds when you start thinking about all the people from around here that support that deal. And it's only good for our area. It's only good for our area. It's good for Tex, obviously great for Lubbock. What an economic impact that has for them. And
Totally, yeah.
The college kids. Man,
I mean, they want to be on game day.
I want to be I would want to be the kicker if I could kick.
Know that.
I want to win half $500,000 if Pat put it out there for me.
The guy, 50,000, whatever it is.
Last week they won $500,000. They split the kids last week. They split $250,000. One and a quarter apiece, and then $250,000 to the charity. But there was one week he gave
Who puts the money up? McAfee?
McAfee does.
Wow.
One week he gave $500,000 to the winning kicker, and then another $250,000 or $300,000 to the charity.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, Bray Goodhart, who owns House Divided, kicked for Dumas back in the day.
Yeah.
So I told him he should go put on a wig, put on some makeup, try to be a kid. They don't know who you are, and go in there and try to get on there and kick it.
I don't know how they do it because last week they were in Utah.
Yeah.
And the kid that won the draw, I guess, however they do it, he said, I can't kick. So he brought his friend to do the kicking, who kicked in high school. He said, I kicked in high school and I played soccer all my life. My gosh, he kicked one wide. He kicked it a mile. It would probably have been good from 50 plus, but it was to the right.
Yeah.
And McAfee and them, or Kirk Herbstreit said, this has been getting too easy. We got some helpers. So they brought these blocker things in. So now he had these distractors out in front of him, and he missed it to the right. And something they did, the kid that didn't kick came in. He said, no, I called timeout. What a great ploy.
Yeah.
And they bid it, and so they let him kick again, and he made it.
Wow.
He said, all right, we'll do it for $250, 125 for you, 125 for you, $250 to the charity if you get this one kick. Boom. And I bet it was good from 50. He nailed it. I mean, he booted it.
I saw a video of the kid.
Went inside, and they first, what's the Steve guy? He said it was no good because it was right down the pipe, but it was inside the pipe, and they called it good. When they did the replay, they said, it's in.
Wow.
It was funny.
To have,
that's great stuff.
Oh, it's a great gimmick.
McAfee's he's a hot wire, you either like him or don't.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that money's coming out of his doings.
That's amazing.
And it's pretty cool what he does with it.
Sticking with tech, this is my question for my week on my radio show is, Joey McGuire obviously is leading the Texas Tech program right now, okay?
Yep.
All this money comes your way, and they're 7-1, ranked number 9 in the nation, number 8 in the first college playoff poll, so they're well inside the number, But, Jimmy, who is out there saying Joey McGuire is this great football coach?
Not many.
I'm
sorry, but not many.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. He's been given players, obviously. Mm-hmm. They're winning games. Mm-hmm. Isn't it just what Nick Saban does every year at Alabama?
Every time.
He has 6 number 1 picks on his team.
Yep.
Who can't coach that? And we call him the GOAT? I'm not saying Joey McGuire is Nick Saban, but I'm just saying
they've leveled the playing field.
One of the elements in here is, though, he's totally forgotten as a coach, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, he was a high school.
Should that bother anybody?
He was
Should
a
that
high
bother
school
him?
coach by trade. He was a high school football coach.
Yeah, for
sure.
And
a very good one.
Yeah.
And you take a big chance when you bring somebody from that level. And obviously it was at Baylor, but, you bring somebody that their deep background is from high school ball. I go back to, what was the guy, Jerry Faust, went from high school to Notre Dame, same kind of thing. The difference being is even from the time McGuire got there to where things were then, and think about where they are now with this NIL and the portal and all the things that are in there, they've leveled the playing field for him.
Yeah, no,
And one of the things as a high school coach that he has that a lot of people don't have when you come to a Tech or a place like that is the background he has with high school coaches in the state of Texas. He has a great relationship with a lot of high school coaches in the state of Texas that know him, that knew him on their level, that really had a deep understanding of who he was and how he related to them in the Texas coaches, high school coaches association deal.
Yeah.
And now he's propelled himself to this head football coach of a major college now, and he's got people that are putting money into his program. He's just doing his job.
I agree.
They are, I don't think he cares about the limelight.
Okay.
I don't think he seeks it. I just don't think he's one of those type guys.
Yeah,
I think he's all business, and I think he also knew that this year they had to produce, and thus far
they are
produced, and they've blown people out.
So if they lose this game to BYU, are they toast?
It could hurt them. It's just going to be tied. I don't know yet. It depends on how things play out, but it's not going to help them.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 is only going to get one.
I think so
team
too.
In there.
I do too.
You know what I mean?
There's too many other factors in the mix, and there's just so many. There's some good teams. I mean, there are some good teams.
Yeah, I don't see a great that unbelievable team. Like I just don't see that. But there's some really, really good teams.
So I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
If you had to pick today, who's going to win it all?
Ohio State will go back to back.
Okay.
Yeah. They have the pedigree.
Yeah.
They have the players. Their quarterback's just getting better and better. They've been there, done that. And there is not a team out there that just overwhelms you, that just intimidates you like this is the best team. So on a neutral field especially, Ohio State, I think, would be favored by Vegas in any of those games.
Probably so.
Teams
I will never count out. I'll never count out Alabama. I will never count out Kirby Smart at Georgia. I will never count them out.
Yeah.
I won't count out Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. But the team that I think might pull it all off at the end of the day is I'm a Dan Lanning fan. I think Oregon could do it.
Yeah, I'm a big Oregon fan.
I'll put it this way.
What about Indiana, though?
If I'm Ohio State, I don't want to play Oregon again.
What about Indiana? How come?
They're for real.
Yeah.
The question for them is going to be, assuming they get to that stage and haven't been there very much,
right?
How do they react?
But if you survive the Big Ten,
sure.
You've done a lot.
100%.
So. Do you think Fernando Mendoza deserves votes for the Heisman, the quarterback for Indiana?
Absolutely, he deserves votes.
Yeah,
he deserves votes.
Will
he win it? I don't know.
Who should win it?
The kid from Alabama is probably still at the top of the list with me.
Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I just think week in and week out, they had a bump or two.
Ohio State quarterback saying
good. There's some defensive guys out there that won't get in the mix.
A lot of people are looking at Rodriguez down at Tech.
Yeah, And there's one more.
Well, Marcel Reed at A&M is so good, it's ridiculous. Everybody doesn't like Diego Pavia because of his attitude on the field at Vandy, but we're not talking Vandy without Pavia.
No,
okay?
absolutely no.
On a national level, so I'm considering all those guys. But you're right. If you're going to go defense, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, watching him play is amazing at Tech.
Yeah.
Both those guys. I saw their.
You know what? I have the utmost respect for his wife. She's serving our country.
I know.
Flying
helicopters.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You don't think that'll be a game day conversation?
Golly, what a cool deal.
She should fly in and go sit on the. They should have her drop in the helicopter and just go.
And give out the game ball. Wouldn't that be cool?
Or go sit on their panel.
Yeah.
And do the picks.
Yeah. Well, I bet Mahomes is there. What do you bet?
Mahomes is supposed to be there.
Is he going to be?
It's his off week.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I mean, the way Joey McGuire talks is, Andy Reid's always wanted to go to with Pat
that would be cool.
to Lubbock. I guess that he has friends on that staff at Tech. Anyway, I'm talking Andy Reid. I'm sure he knows everybody.
How cool would that be?
That would be cool if he shows up.
I'm a big Andy Reid fan.
Yeah, me too. Who wouldn't be? So,
except
I'm a Broncos fan. So if the Chiefs, by the way, the Broncos are 2 games up on the Chiefs. And what time of year is it? It's November.
So speaking of the Broncos, you just gave me my lead in.
Yes.
I already told Maddie. She's got some pictures of you.
Oh, yeah.
Decked out going to the Cowboys Denver game.
Yeah.
And she's going to throw those on. So if you're watching on our YouTube channel, check this out with Lance and the gear that he wore to the Broncos-Cowboys game. He sent me a text message down to the shoes. He's got the Denver Broncos logo on his tennis shoes.
The Reebok.
And there he's in his Payne Stewart knickers and the whole 9 yards with Broncos garb, and it looks awesome. And so I appreciated the text.
Yeah.
I stole one of Rhonda's pictures that had you in there with her and Teddy Ballgame. And so Maddie's going to throw those in on the video side of this deal.
No, I have fun with it. I will say this. It was like 70 degrees in Colorado, which you can't beat. No wind. And the Cowboy fans have not given up on that team. I'm just going to tell you, Jimmy, there were, that seats, 80,000, whatever it is, 75,000, 20,000 Cowboy fans in there. I'm just going to tell you, loud too.
Yeah.
They're not happy what's happening, but there are a lot of Cowboy fans still loyal to the cause. I'm not sure after the Cardinals game it'll be as well, but what a day. And then watching Dallas's, this is going to sound ridiculously dumb, but so we got there early. Watching Dallas's kicker warm up was one of my highlights of that game.
Yeah, how far was he kicking them?
Well, I was hoping he'd go back to like 70. You know what I mean? But no, it's 55, and it's just like that golfer you see who barely swinging and he's just barely swinging his leg, and it's going.
Yeah,
60, 65.
We had 168 this weekend.
Yeah. We had one
from Carolina.
I saw they gave him a chance too, and he missed it. But I think he'll kick a 70-yarder. But it was a big thrill. But yeah.
So tell me where the stadium currently is and where the new one's going to be.
Yeah, the just across from I-25. So anybody who knows Denver, Ball Arena, is where the Nuggets play. Yeah. Metro State is right across the street, basically from Ball Arena. So it'll just be up from that, but not past the I-25.
Okay.
So it'll be across from where it is now from I-25.
And it's under construction.
It's going to get going. Yeah. Here shortly. So, and it's Walmart money, and they're pretty much building it their own. There will be a roof on it, though, kind of like AT&T, because they want to host a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they really can't other than that. So that stadium's not that old either, you know what I mean? Mile High was there and McNichols, but it'll all be on that other side.
Okay.
I'm sure this will be housing eventually in that area. That's what they're kind of doing there. But, yeah, it's going to be exciting for them. So, yeah, appreciate you letting me. Hey, we talked real quick. We talked Blue Jays Dodgers like this is going to be a no-nothing World Series, kind of forgetful one. And it turned out to be one of the great ones with the 18-inning game, and then you're at Game 7, and you end the thing on a double play. Just so many amazing plays in that game. Even the Dodgers, you just shake your heads because they have become the new New York Yankees, and by that everybody hates them unless that's your team. Everybody was rooting for Toronto, but. Man, that was some baseball. When baseball is played like that, right now it's probably third behind the NBA, behind the NFL to a lot of people. But when baseball is played like we witnessed, it is still the most special game you can watch.
Well, think about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they really played over 8 games.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them went 2.
Yeah.
Another one went an extra 2 to finish it off. And so, they played 8+ games to finish that World Series.
But just the drama.
We don't get many of those.
And then we found why Toronto won so many games. They're just really a good baseball team. Yeah. You have a young man who started in Class A. We can relate to that now since we have a Double A. It would be like him just whipping right through Amarillo for a few weeks. Next thing we know, he's winning 2 games in the World Series,
Freeman hits that walk-off in the 18th. Was it the 18th?
Yeah.
6 hours and 39-minute game. And you would think that's the headline, but Ohtani's on the bases 9 times that night. So, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
insane.
you learn how great Ohtani is. And he really wasn't even on his total game at the plate.
He was on base 9 times.
I know.
That's just sick.
I know. No, 9 times. You're right. Yeah, but I lasted till the 13th inning, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
But I didn't make it either, and true baseball fans won't like that. But I just want to say thanks, Dodgers, thanks, Blue Jays, and the atmosphere in Toronto.
Good for baseball too, Lance.
Yeah, I agree.
It was good for
I
baseball.
agree. The atmosphere in Toronto, you just
They do
love
it up
that.
right.
Yeah, they do it right.
I got a buddy that goes up there pretty regularly, and he loves it up there. And I've never been.
Does he go to games or just
no?
chills
He and his wife go up there just to kind of get away sometimes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the cleanest cities in the world.
They really enjoy it.
Yeah.
What's Gerald Welch? You know Gerald?
Yeah.
Gerald
and we're going to bring up Gerald Welch here because
they go up there from time to time just to get away, and that's one of their spots.
Yeah. Speaking of Gerald Welch, played for WT football back in the day with the Bill Kelly era that I was blessed to cover. Josh Lynn and the Buffs beat Kingsville 53-48. Most points scored in that series since when? Since 1986 when the Buffs won 54-49.
Yep.
First of all, what do you think of the Buffs getting this particular win? Scott Parr,
big,
former Plainview High grad, and who coached at Tech and WT, was the Kingsville head coach.
Well, their AD used to coach with Donnie when he was, Salinas. Now he's the AD. Was the head coach last year at Kingsville. Mike's now their AD, and Scott's the head coach, and that was a win they needed too.
I know.
Both of them needed that win probably to have any kind of shot moving on down the road, and so big win for Josh. Big win for Josh in front of a home crowd, no doubt about it.
Yeah. I was going to take you back. 86, Gerald Welch is on that team.
Yep.
Buffs have to score on all 7 possessions of the second half to beat Kingsville down there, 54-49.
We were down 21-6 at half, I believe.
Yeah. Scored all 7 possessions, and the only reason the game didn't stop. I mean, Kingsville was inside the 10, like on a second down play, and Johnny Bailey gets tackled.
Yep.
They swing a pass out to him, who later played in the NFL. Buffs went 7-4 that year. They started the season, Jimmy, 1-4.
1-4. I was thinking 1-3.
And then they ran.
But we played some Division I AA teams, et cetera, and went undefeated in the conference.
Undefeated in the conference. Lost to Troy State to open up number 1 in Division II.
Stephen
F. Right down. They had the ball down there and didn't get it in. Down Louisiana Tech. Yeah, like a 17-10 game. So if they would have dialed that back, they would have had a chance.
Well, if the Lone Star Conference would have had an automatic bid
they would have been
into the playoffs.
They didn't even. Nobody from the conference went to the playoffs that year. Todd Mayfield was the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, great memories because they mentioned that on the broadcast. Like, this is the most points since 1986, and I said, how many people saw that game?
Yeah.
And there was the fight after the game.
Yeah.
The announcer, Kevin Long, was on the field with the camera. You know what I mean? And he's running to get video of the fight. You know what I mean? And
Only
whoever
Kevin.
the announcer was going, Kevin Long is joining the fray. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I don't have a lot today, but that's a
so. One of our colleagues in Elk City, Caitlin Huckabee, she sent me a text this week, and she watches our podcast, and she said, if you and Lance had a bucket list stadium that you haven't been to,
oh yeah, mine's easy.
Where would you go?
Yeah, mine's easy. I have not been to Fenway.
Okay.
So that's the baseball part of it.
Yeah.
Football part, I have been to Lambeau, so I think that's satisfies that for me. You know what I mean? And then basketball, I really don't. Maybe Duke. Yeah. Maybe I'd go to Duke. I like that question a lot, by the way. But mine's definitely Fenway, kind of a Fenway/Wrigley. I've not been to both.
Yeah.
I need to get that done. Yeah.
I went to Wrigley when Harry Carey was still doing his thing.
That is awesome.
And it was day game because back then they still didn't have lights. This was in 2000. We took a trip up there. Some friends of ours were living in Valparaiso. And so we went to Thursday afternoon Cubs game. And then we went to Saturday's Notre Dame A&M game.
Oh,
that was in 2000. Yeah, that was when Steve Cragthorpe was offensive coordinator at A&M. And so we got to go to a Notre Dame ball game. That was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's a stadium that I have been in, though.
Yeah, that was definitely a bucket list. A bucket list for me was going to Army-Navy game. Bill Bandy and Ross Glenn and Clint Cope and I went in 19 to the Army-Navy game in Philadelphia. That was my big bucket list to go to that. Talking about college game day, we were the first ones there that morning.
Really?
Oh, yeah, and I had my WT flag, and I flew it the whole morning. I stood there for 3 hours. My phone blew up. But I had my WT flag front and center up there. Met all the guys from Washington State that travel that flag of theirs to every
Oh, yeah,
game.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, met all those guys.
Will they be in Lubbock?
Oh, yeah.
Are they?
Oh, that flag's never not there. It's into the 300s. How many in a row they've made?
They should mention them every show. They don't.
They
do.
do.
That. Oh, they do.
They always call it. I think they call it Old Glory, and they'll say 373 straight college game days that Old Glory's been flying it, and they have a network around the country, and they make sure it gets there.
Wow.
But yeah, we met all those guys. Good Morning America for that morning was out there. We met them. Maria Taylor was with ESPN back then, and so we got to meet her, and she was doing morning with the weather guy, Rob. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
And anyway, there was nobody out there when we got there. We got there like at 4 a.m.
Oh, really?
And it was cold and kind of rainy and misty, and my buddies all left me. I look up, and I'm just out there by myself. I didn't care. I was staying the whole time.
You were doing that, yeah.
So I know.
So if you get to Lubbock, you need to be there at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there at Lubbock. Yeah, I've been there, done that. My seat at home's the best viewing spot. But
so what is your bucket list?
I would probably have to say going to Lambeau. I would really like to go to Lambeau sometime.
So the Chicago Bears. So like a good old traditional game.
I would love to go to Lambeau Field. I need to go to LSU. I need to go to an LSU football game. My dad played football there. And I've never been.
Yeah.
And I need to go. They say be sure and wear purple and gold. Don't wear the other side. They might be a little ugly.
That's sad though. That's at Tech as well. You know, if you wear the opponent's colors. Yeah.
But one of my best friends, his son's going to school there right now. We were going to go with them this year and ended up having to go to a wedding. And but I need to go to LSU.
That is cool.
But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Lambeau's the one.
Yeah, Lambeau was the tailgating experience alone. We stayed at like an old Holiday Inn right next to it, so it was awesome. Yep. Just got over, went to the game. Everybody was so polite to us. The seating where we sat, we were in the bottom bowl, but Jimmy, it was bench seating with just the good old numbers.
Oh wow!
And they do some eating in Wisconsin. We got there like you did for game day. Like as soon as they let you in, we got in there. They have a really cool. If you ever go there, we didn't spend enough time in it, but they have a Packers Hall of Fame with videos and all that. That's well worth your time.
Yeah,
see all the old memorabilia. But we're sitting there. And then it just got tighter and tighter and tighter. I mean, it is a small, number of seats. I don't know if they've changed. I know they've done renovations over and over in it, but it was a great experience. You know what I mean?
It's not a big town either.
No.
It's like a Stillwater.
It's like a Stillwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even if that. When you drive out to it, the Vince Lombardi Trophy, all that, we had a blast. So, but my brothers and I go and do that, and that's what this Broncos game was.
Yeah.
Well, my little brother got us really nice seats for this Dallas game we always wanted to go to. So the oldest of the clan said, hey, we're going, of our group, you know what I mean, said we're going to a warm weather place next. So
one of my really good friends, his name's Lance Maddox, lives in the Dallas area. He had a chance to go to a Cowboys Green Bay Packers game at Lambeau years ago. And
wore his Packers gear?
Cowboys gear? He did, but he didn't have any warm clothes, and he knew it was going to be cold. And so he goes, I live in Dallas. I don't have that kind of stuff. So I sent him all my I packed up my hunting gear, all my camo gear, insulated top to bottom, and he wore it and took a picture by Vince Lombardi's statue out in front of the stadium. So I've got a picture of my gear with Lance in it at Lambeau. That's the closest I've been.
They have it down. They don't have the little hand warmers. They have they put them on their seats. They're like this big.
Yeah.
They're just sitting on them. They replace them at halftime, replace the ones in their shoes. Yeah. I mean, it's an orchestra.
Wow.
I mean, it's an unorganized orchestra how to stay warm there. But also you're thankful for being that closed in. But I was dressed too then. I was dressed like.
Coldest game I ever went to, me and Craig and Bill Bandy.
Oh, yeah.
Went to Northeast Missouri to watch WT play. This was in 08.
At Arrowhead?
No, this was at Northwest Missouri in Maryville, Missouri.
Okay.
And it had snowed, and their side, their whole stadium side was cleaned out. Seats were all cleaned out. Our side, not a stitch of snow was cleaned out. So we're sitting. The benches were clear, but they didn't clear the snow out of the gutters. And so we're sitting there with our feet in 6 inches of snow. And, I mean, we're freezing. And I've never seen so many men in the bathroom at halftime not want to leave the bathroom because it was the only heated place in the deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the day Coop called me and he said, hey, I know you're at Maryville. He goes, what are y'all's plans? And I said, nothing. He said, Corey's got a game tonight. Y'all are 2 hours from Lincoln. Y'all want to go? She would love for y'all to come. So we drove to Lincoln and went and watched Corey Cooper, back then Corey Clements now.
Yeah.
Watched her play. It was their last Big 12 game of the year. And I still get goosebumps thinking about this. So I sat next to Jordan Larson's granddad, Pavin Larson. That bunch, they'd won the national title the year before, Corey's sophomore year, freshman year. This is her sophomore year. And the game's over. They beat Tech in 3 games. It was against Tech. And out walks Tom Osborne with the Big 12 trophy to present to the team.
Wow.
And their old volleyball play. And I still get goosebumps because I got to see Tom Osborne. I mean, I grew up watching the Big 8.
Yeah. That's
back
a great
in the day.
experience.
Yeah, that I told Corey that was my favorite all-time sporting event until I went to the Army-Navy game. And I told her now she's number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good one. We'll answer I really don't know. Well, my all-time sporting event is going to the 76 Olympics.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down.
That would be it easily.
That would be a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
right, thanks,
that's good stuff.
Yeah,
thanks for the questions. We love those out there. So, and hey, I dress up like that when I actually golf. By the way, just want to not in the Broncos shoes, but I do in the old school tennis shoes.
Last thing, did you see they removed the interim tag from the LSU guy? He's the AD, he's the AD now.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. You know what I think? You know what I mean?
I do too.
I really do like that.
It's his school. He's been there. Give him a chance. I'm think it's awesome.
I like when they move fast like that.
Yeah, don't drag that out. Yeah. Don't go some national search. Just turn around and hire the guy inside and then just do it.
Do you think we'll continue firing coaches mid-season?
Here's not crazy this year.
Yeah. My thought is this. If you're any kind of an AD, if you're any kind of an organization, when your person who is in charge of your program on August 15th, what changes in 60 days, okay? Yeah. A few losses, obviously. But you have to let them go through the entire season.
Well, it's not fair to the players, my personal opinion. I don't think it's right for
the players. Well, it's not fair to your finances for your college, my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, the buyout at LSU is $53 million. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Penn State. So,
same AD, by the way.
Question of the week, and we'll see where we are next week. What's Kiffin going to do?
Stay.
Think he will?
Well, you mean does he have LSU or Penn State offer him?
You know that
he'll go to one of those two, LSU or Penn State. It's just a different.
So Florida's
world.
Out.
Florida, if they come up with the money, I think his decision will be money.
Yeah. Oh, sure it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure it is.
How big is the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to do.
I would not be surprised if
he's the hot ticket.
Yeah. He just always is, and he's good, but he's not great yet. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will say
I'm hearing Franklin going to Virginia Tech. I am hearing a lot. I'm hearing a lot of rumble about that.
Okay. I will say this about Kiffin. I like him. I really do, because he's kind of cantankerous.
Yeah.
He's kind of ornery. Obviously can coach. But I would not be surprised if he stays. I'm just going to tell you. I think he likes it.
Well, they could come up with the money too.
Yeah. So I don't know. But just coaching at Penn State, LSU, or Florida over where he's at, I mean, I know how cool that place is, but I think I would rather coach at those 3 places.
Yeah.
You have a chance, much more of a chance.
LSU, you're the show.
You're the show.
Penn State, pretty much for that state.
You're the show.
You're the show.
Yeah.
And so that's a plus.
Florida, you're still the show if you can get that thing going.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off.
No, I like that. I like that. All right. So, hey, let's hop out of here. We can't thank you enough for joining us today. We are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. Jimmy Lackey, Lance Leonard. This was the Fieldhouse Podcast, and we'll see you when we see you.